Also tonight, a Miami high school principal has been removed from his post after showing support for Officer Casebolt on Facebook, where he wrote, "He did nothing wrong. He was afraid for his life. I commend him for his actions." Well, according to reports, the now former principal is going to be reassigned to administrative duties. Here with reaction to all of this from the National Bar Association president, Pamela Means, and also Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli is with us. Deneen, let me start with you. Let me go to the videotape. Let me go to the slowed down version. Because this is important. I agree with the principal. I don't think a principal should be fired. Watch this slow down. These two guys are right within less than 2 feet of the cops. That's when he draws the gun. It is not on the girl on the floor. He doesn't know whether these guys have a gun or a knife or a threat to him. And he also has to protect his gun there. I think his actions are appropriate because they are taunting him. Your thoughts?
Sure. Well, listen, what we're witnessing is mob rule. You have individuals who are coming out on this incident, and they are just stirring up the pot, Sean. And I applaud Mr. Embry for coming out. He's a brave soul to do so. He's unfortunately paying the consequences for doing so, which I find utterly outrageous. But again, you have people who are agitators. What they really don't want are Black Americans to recognize how progressive policies are failing urban communities, and they're trying to make this an issue about race, and it's not an issue about race based on what we know so far.
All right, Pamela Means, are you taking a position on the cops' actions?
I certainly am. And Sean, thank you so much for having us on the show.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here.
The position I'm taking is the cop behavior toward the young lady was out of control. Police officers have an obligation when they enter into a situation to de-escalate the situation and not escalate it. If you look in the 7-minute clip, you see 2 officers standing there. There's one officer standing, having a conversation with the young people. You don't see the chaos. When you see Officer Casebolt, you see chaos, and he's out of control also. The great thing about America is that we have a constitutional right to voice our opinion and to agree to disagree. But we ought to do it in a way that is so respectful. I too applaud the gentleman for coming out, giving his perspective of the story. But Sean, you also should applaud those individuals. As he said, he was on the other side seeing people do their thing. There was a young lady on your show who actually said that the security guard kept approaching only her and her guests, and she did feel that it was race-based. And I think we should respect her opinion as much. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I think we ought to respect her opinion as much as we respect that gentleman's opinion, who believed that it was not.
There was an eyewitness that was quoted as saying that the videotape does not capture the whole story. We're trying to get to what led up to this. There's a couple of things. Nobody died here. Thank God. Nobody was shot here. Nobody was injured. There was no lasting harm done. But I think we can use this as a teaching moment in some ways. And those kids that came up behind the cop, I think they provoked him and created a very dangerous situation that we should learn. When police are in the middle of their job, you cannot come in behind them like that, in my opinion. But here's the question I have. Maybe we can disagree on Officer Casebolt. His career is now over as a result of this. Did you know that earlier in that day, he had to go console a family, take pictures of a man who had just committed suicide by shooting himself in the head in front of his children? And then, before he got to this incident, he had another girl that was on top of a home threatening suicide, had to talk her down, and then he was into this moment. I'm not saying that justifies whether you think he did right or wrong in this particular case. I'm only pointing out, I can only imagine that's not an easy day at the office for anybody. What's your reaction learning that?
You know what? I completely agree with you, which is why this is a classic case of what the National Bar Association has been saying since July. There needs to be stricter mental health testing. When you are in a situation like this, and I applaud the officers that go out and put their lives on the line daily. But I have 4 children, Sean. They're 14, 9, 6, and 4. When I have a child that is out of control and their emotions are out of control, I make them have a timeout.
Yeah, my father gave me a timeout with the belt.
Yeah.
So I got my timeouts without.
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
But Sean, I got my timeout with the belt too. No. What we're going to do on the show, he asked me a question, and we're going to respect each other. But we're going to respect each other. What I'm not going to do.
Pamela, just finish quick, and then we'll let Deneen back in. Go ahead.
I'll finish quickly.
Thank you.
And what we have here is we're a timeout. This is a great moment for us to say, he deserved to have some standards in place that would have said that when you have a day like that, maybe you should not be out.
Pamela,
and doing
on my
things
research,
of that nature.
Pamela,
Maybe you
you're
should go
actually
back
part of the problem.
And you should sit down.
Because there is a video out of you on the ground with someone on your back mimicking what the police officer did. So really, you're part of the problem, Pamela. The propaganda that you're putting out, and these young children are seeing these actions and what you're saying and what you're doing. You are part of the problem.
Well, is it because
Pamela,
hang on? Is it because is it because none of us know the entire story?
We don't know the entire story, and not only that, to put out such a video of that sort. Basically, I was waiting for Al Sharpton to come out on the scene with you as well. You were part of the problem, and you should be held accountable for that as well. Because what we've witnessed in this incident, based on even Mr. Embry's testimony, and he said he was there. He said it was not about race. He said it was not the police brutality.
All
so
right.
Clearly, you
Quick
are part of the problem.
We have 15 seconds, Pamela, and we're out of time.
Let me give you the 15 seconds. I'm glad you brought that point up, because the point of doing the demonstration is to show that under the Tennessee versus Gardner standard,
propaganda.
had we not, I didn't interrupt you. I got 15 seconds. Give them to me.
You've been talking most of the show.
Had we not seen the video, the narrative may have been different.
All right, I gotta end it there.
And that's the reason why all of us can use this as a moment of respect.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I
appreciate
appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Coming up, now that Officer